Hi, I'm Rabbi Megan from Silverstein base Hillel. Shabbat Shalom. I'm here to share some words of Torah for this week's Torah portion, Vayikra. When I was a teenager, I spent my summers in various Jewish spaces. And so one of the most central Jewish holidays of my childhood was the 9th of Av, the day we mourn the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. This is not necessarily one of the most important Jewish holidays, and I didn't personally feel that connected to the themes of it. But it was the one holiday that overlapped with summer camps, so it was practiced with a lot of intensity year after year. Of course, the counselors worked hard to make the holiday, or perhaps we should call it a sad holy day, memorable. There's one specific activity that stands out in my mind. We were asked to try to think of what might have been as catastrophic for the Jewish people as the destruction of the temple. It was not so much that the temple was destroyed, but that it was destroyed, and then we were exiled from our homeland and our way of worship. This week's Torah portion, Vayikra, lays out how we maintain our relationship with God. At the heart of that relationship is animal sacrifice. Basically, our whole relationship with God and with each other was through sacrificial offerings at the temple. But then suddenly, all of that stopped. The temple was destroyed, and we needed to figure out how to connect to God and one another. The Judaism we practice today is an innovation of generations of rabbis in the early centuries of the Common Era who had to redesign Judaism. So anyway, back to summer camp. We were charged with figuring out an event that would be as catastrophic to Judaism as the destruction of the temple. The idea I remember most was that somehow something happened to the atmosphere so paper could no longer exist and there were no more books. How would we pray? How would we learn? Our weekdays we could use computers and screens, but what about on Shabbat? This was our best answer to the thought exercise. But no one ever thought to suggest, what if we could no longer gather in groups? What if there was no communal prayer? No in-person minyan, no shiva visits, no kaddish, the quorum of 10 people that's required to mourn somebody, no seder with family members. What would it do to Judaism if suddenly we were not allowed to gather? We knew that gathering was core to Judaism. That's why we had come to camp in the first place, to be with other Jews. Yet the central element of being together felt like such a given, we could never question that it would always be there and had always been there. I don't think this type of loss could ever have entered our minds as a possibility. And yet, we are living it right now. It seems nothing could be as catastrophic to Judaism than a ban on being with others. When we talk about what we love most about being Jewish, so many people name community, connection, the things that happen when we're together. Summer camp, cohort classes, retreats, and family meals. It feels like given all of this, perhaps Judaism should be dead right now. But it's not. It's remarkable. In the past week, I have attended virtual Shiva minyans for loved ones who have been lost, celebrated a deferred, very, very Jewish wedding with almost all the core Jewish elements with many of my close friends. I have had hangouts with prayer and song. I have taught and learned texts on Zoom. Basically, Judaism is alive and well, at least here at Silverstein base Hillel, even with the sad absence of in-person guests. So despite all indications that Judaism should not be able to survive a blow like this, why aren't we falling apart? Well, it turns out our people have endured a lot of challenging circumstances, and Judaism is very resilient. Our over 2,000-year-old tradition has acquired a lot of wisdom, ancient and modern, and our core elements can carry us through even the most challenging of circumstances. So what are some of those elements? For this, I want to take us back to those sacrifices, the ones that will be read this Shabbat. Not in packed synagogues, but in homes, live streamed from rabbis' houses, families sitting together around small tables. And not just this week's Torah portion, but those we'll read in the coming weeks. The sacrifices we'll read about this week are the ones that remind us how to stay in relationship with God. Regular burnt meal offerings to demonstrate our continued relationships, an offering of well-being to thank God or request a sense of wholeness, and various sin and guilt offerings to give us a way to repair our relationship with God and release ourselves of guilt when we err. These offerings remind us that we need to work to maintain relationships always, and especially now. Show gratitude for what we have, and ask those we love for what we need. And they remind us that we need to be forgiving, especially now of ourselves and others. No one is their best right now. We need to express thankfulness to those who take care of us, give a lot of second and third chances, but also when we hurt others, we need to take responsibility for our actions and work to repair the pain. Later in Leviticus, we'll learn that sacrifices also give us routine. Daily sacrifices in the morning, afternoon, weekly sacrifices on Shabbat, and annual ones for holidays. We know routine is crucial right now. Waking up to prayer or yoga or meditation, regular check-ins with loved ones, like our morning breakfast Zoom with Bubby. For me, a Shabbat without Zoom is crucial to surviving this current plague. And then the bigger moments in our calendar. The Passover that will come, even though it won't be like any before and hopefully any after. The cleaning, the different foods, the reminder that while our movement may be restricted, we are in fact free. Today, I am confident that we are experiencing one of the most intense challenges to the system of Judaism and the system of life that we have ever experienced, and I pray that will ever happen again. And my prayer is that if you are listening to this now, you have a sense that our people are here to support you, wherever you are. I'm here to check in with you. Our calendar, our rituals, our Torah is here today, like every day, to provide comfort in uncertainty, love amidst pain, hope amidst loss. I pray we can gather again soon in small, large, and gigantic groups. But in the meantime, may we continue to be sustained by our community and our tradition. Shabbat Shalom.